But now we're fast forwarding 2 years later to the war tour. So it's Memorial Day weekend and it's 1983. And U2 is playing the US Festival, which was a 3-day festival at Glen Helen Regional Park. Later we will hear Bono refer to that as a large field, but it's actually a state park that's still there today, and people camp there and fish there, and yes, you can go there. I encourage you to go there. So this was the second US Festival. The first one was in 1982. And Steve Wozniak, who co-founded Apple with Steve Jobs, was the organizer. But let's talk about why this performance was so unique for U2. I just think this is really special. Part of it is because it was in San Bernardino. Glen Helen is in San Bernardino, and we're from San Bernardino, so that's important to me. But this was really important to U2 history because this was U2's first American festival. No other festival in the United States until this one. There were a lot in Europe, but none here. So this was their first American festival right here in Southern California. And there would not be another one that they would do for 34 years until they played Bonnaroo in 2017. Bonnaroo in Tennessee. So it's pretty significant. They played on day 3, which was called Rock Day. Was anyone at the US Festival who's here, by the way? Okay, Mike was there. Anyone else? Oh, yes! Okay, cool. Day 3 was Rock Day. It might seem odd that they were not on day 1, New Wave Day, but they actually requested to not be on New Wave Day. Perhaps, I've got a few reasons in the book why that might be, just theories, but it may be because if it had been called New Wave and Punk Day, I think they probably would have wanted to play on that day. But it was just called New Wave Day, and Bono famously says during the show, we're not just another English fashion band passing through, which of course is a reference to New Wave, right? So there's also a theory about maybe wanting to distance themselves from The Clash, which is actually their heroes, but you can read about why The Clash was being difficult in the book as well, and maybe that had something to do with it. It was extremely hot that day, if you were there, you know. 95 degrees is what I found. Do you recall? Do you recall?
Yeah.
Does it 95?
We actually call it the Dust Festival.
The Dust Festival.
So hot and dusty.
Yes, other people told me that. Do you remember that it was? Do you think it was over?
I remember it being like 101.
101.
But I don't know.
Entirely possible.
Very hot.
So it was very hot, and there were 200,000 fans, most likely. There were like about 700,000 for the whole weekend, but each day had 100,000 to 200,000, and I saw that day 3 is 200,000. So this happened just 6 days before Red Rocks. If you know about the Red Rocks show, very important to U2 history. Under a Blood Red Sky is the film that was made from that, from Red Rocks in Colorado, and that was just 6 days after this. Red Rocks is widely acknowledged to be their American breakthrough, but I don't know. It's a quest of mine to make sure more people know about the US Festival because I just think it's extremely special. So let's talk about why that is. If you see these photos, you can tell it's hot. You can tell it's a very summer vibe, right? And then we see the bikini girl. Her name is Angeline, and I tried really hard to find her, actually. You guys, I tried really hard to find Angeline. I asked everybody. So Bono, his whole thing has always been connecting with the audience, right? So all the fans, we all know this. He could immerse himself in the crowd or just make things a more communal atmosphere. And here's this outdoor crowd of 200,000 people in a field. So what does he do? He climbs the scaffolding, of course. And he waited until 9 songs into this hour-long performance. So really it was almost to the end. But it doesn't feel like it because it goes on for so long, and it was during the song The Electrico. To get up there, he climbed the rope ladder, which is also known as a Jacob's ladder. So remember that. That's going to be important in a minute. He took with him, somehow, inexplicably, the white flag of surrender, which is giant, as you can see in the photo, and his mic, corded mic like this one. Somehow he's climbing, carrying both these things. When he reaches the top, hold on. I'm going to read about it from pages 44 and 45, but I actually want you guys to watch the video instead of following along, because we're just going to kind of play the music softly so you can kind of feel like you're there. I wish I had about 5 hands right now. Play audio 4. If there was a moment when all bets were off and the singer went on autopilot, this was it. Using the swinging rope ladder, also known as a Jacob's ladder, meant for the festival crew, he climbed to the highest point of the structure. Okay, so we're not too far behind because he's not to the highest point yet, right? When viewing the footage online, one observes Bono's facial expression growing more purposeful with every ladder rung. If you watch the full video, you will see moments of that. As the band continued to play the Electrico Bridge, Bono reached the top of the scaffolding. There he is. I don't know if it's happened yet, but catapulted his corded mic over it during the song's instrumental bridge, and then, unbelievably, retrieved the mic in the nick of time before his vocals resumed, which hasn't happened yet. And they're loving it. You can hear some cheering. Still climbing. So he doesn't have the mic back yet. Sorry. I know. Okay.
Or Dennis Sheehan trailing him.
Yes, Dennis Sheehan. We're going to hear more about him in a little bit too, but that is who's, yes, thank you, Bill. Trailing him. Okay, the vocals have resumed because we hear 2, 3, 4. So, the crowd went nuts when he emerged, mic securely back in hand, over the top of the structure to sing a paraphrased version of the Send in the Clown snippet, which we're hearing right now, often used in the song. And then he yelled a declaration that we're about to hear. Not yet. You see the text up there. Here it is. So they're hearing California Here I Come. When you guys that were there heard California Here I Come, did you think he was going to maybe leap into the crowd?
We were just stunned. I really was excited. We were like, what? He's climbing. We're waiting on the stuff. It was really cool. But we had no idea. I didn't think he was going to jump, but I wasn't sure what he was going to do.
I mean, that sounds like he's saying he's going to jump, right? California, here I come. Do you recall, Melody?
I remember that, and my sister, who could be in this building, I'm not sure. I remember her saying, "Bono, I'm coming to save you!"
Love it.
Well. She thought he was going to jump.
That's so cool. We don't show here, but watch the video online. Just, you guys can Google U2S Festival 1983. You'll find the video on YouTube. You will then see him aim the flag into the crowd like a spear. We don't know if it impaled anyone, but we never heard that it did, right? So, and then he descends back down. It was theatrical, it was stupid, and it was the lead up to one final act of aiming to connect with the audience, which we'll talk about in a minute. But first, I want to tie this stunt, the US Festival stunt, into something a little more recent. Believe it or not. This is from U2 UV at the Sphere from 2 years ago. We're almost at 3 years, 2023. Play audio 5. Remember Jacob's Ladder. Right? You guys agree, right? Okay. Okay. Does this not look like scaffolding? Does this not look like Jacob's Ladder? And he's saying climbing up Jacob's Ladder. He wrote about that in his memoir as well. He didn't call it a Jacob's Ladder, he called it the rigging. But I think it's entirely plausible because given their proclivity for incorporating historical elements of their history, into their current stagecraft. That's why I believe that's a reference to. So I have that photo in the book. Okay, so that's the US Festival.